Welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we saw how to use the if-else statements. So we are going to add from there, and we are going to see another additional functionality that you can add on the if-else, which is the else-if statements. And we are going to look at a grading system using the else-if statement. So let's dive in. So I'm having these two numbers. Let me add another number like num2. So this is 30. Num4. So this 40. And terminate. I can't use an if statement if num1 is greater or equal to num2. What will this execute? And say system dot print new line. This is great. Else, so in the previous video we saw something like if else. If this is not right, you execute the else part. Else if system dot print in a new line, this is not great. So what will this return? If num1 is greater or equal to num2, you print out this. If else, print out this. But you can see num1 is not greater than 20. 10 is not greater than 20, meaning it will execute the else part. Let us compile this. Java demo dot java, then run. You see that the else part is the one being executed because 10 is not greater than 20. Yeah, so these were the two statements that we looked at in the previous video. The if else, whereby we compared two numbers, but what if you want to compare two or more numbers? Yeah, like in this case, we're having multiple numbers and I want to compare them. We shall use another statement called the else if statement. So what does the else if statement mean? Remember, the if it finds this is not right, it will execute the next line, the false line. But I want it to check only true versions. So I'll use else if. What else if means? If you find this is not true, I have another suggestion. You check another line. Automatically, when it finds that you have an else if, it will also check this. So if I have if num, this time let me say num is less or equal to 20, what will you do? This is a medium. This is a medium. This is medium. Let me print out this. So let me run this and you see. Instead of using 20, I can use num2 because 20 is already saved in the num2. I can use num2 in this case. So let me compile this. Run. You see that my second line, the else if, is the one running. Why? Because what the else if means, if you find this when it is not right, you check, is the user having an else if somewhere? It will automatically check another check, a true check, and if it finds this is right, it will execute this. So meaning here I can use my else again. Say system dot print in a new line failed. You can use all the three in one line. After checking this, it's not right, it will check another line, a true check. Else, if all these conditions are not met, it will run the else part, meaning the else part is the one running the false in this case. So that's how the if else does. It checks multiple conditions, meaning here you can have multiple checks going on. You can check if num3 is greater or equal to num4, and remember the logical operators, and num1 is greater or equal to num num2. Say output, print in a new line, this is the maximum. Yeah, so you can use logical operators in the else if. Remember, like in the previous video, if you didn't watch the previous video, you can go on and visit it to understand the logical operators. I already have a video on explaining logical operators. So you will first check if num3, which is 30, no, it will first check if num1 is greater than or equal to num2, run this. If num1 is less or equal to, run this. Else if you find this condition is true, the one that I've used here, you run this. And the last check, if all these fail, run this. Yeah, so let me compile this, but remember, this will run, this will return false, so I can get out, meaning this is true, num1 is greater, num1, this is false, and this is false. So let us check this else if statement. Failed because it is checking this is false, all these ones are false, this condition is false, this condition is false, and this condition is returning false, meaning to execute the else part. If all these conditions are not right, it will execute the else part. Yeah, that's how the else if works. It checks multiple conditions. As I have shown you here, you can use logical operators inside the conditions. So let us go to the grading system. So in our grading system, I want to give students marks basing on their result. So I want to grade them. So I will first call my scanner. Remember, the scanner is the one that helps us to get user input. Yeah, the scanner. Call the scanner, give it a variable. Yeah, if you're not familiar with the scanner, I used it in the previous video. You can go on and check it out. Scanner is equal to, you create a new instance, new scanner, open brackets, system dot system dot in, then close this. So I'm going to use this scanner. I'm going to get integer. I'm going to get the score. I'm going to here I'm creating an instance that I'm going to use. So through this instance, I'm going to be getting what the score from the user. So I will say score, a new variable, is equal to scanner. We use this here is equal to scanner dot. What am I getting from the user? I'm getting an integer. Yeah. So that's what it means. So up here, we shall need to show the user system.printout. Why am I putting this here up? Because when you compile this, the scanner is already there, but the user in the terminal, the user will get confused. He doesn't know what to do, but the scanner is already there. You can see that I am able to input, but previously it was blank. So I have to show the user that you have to insert something here. Please enter your marks from 1 to 100. So I can first close this. Then compile again. You will see that right now they are showing the user. Please enter your marks. Please enter your marks from 1 to 10. So here user can enter his marks. You can see that it is working really well. So I'm going to use the marks that the user has inserted in the terminal to grade him or to show him his grades. So using the score, remember the score, it is the score that I'm using, and the score is using the scanner to get the user input, and the user is giving us an integer, not other data type. We are expecting an integer data type from the user. So I use our if statements here to get the user. So I'll use if user, let me say if user, if score, not user, if the user's score is greater or equal to 90, what should be done? Meaning this user has passed. Yeah, this is a great, this is a great, this is a great mark. So your use capital, your your grade is A, and you have passed. You are passed with grade A. So I can run this now. Before running, I will put in this case in the next line. Remember, you're having many grades that we want to give to the user. So I'm going to use an else if. And remember what I have explained earlier. An else if helps us to do multiple what? To do multiple conditions. Yeah. So I'll do else. Sorry. Else if I'll check another condition. Is the score greater or equal to 80? Are you seeing this? Here, if the user scores in this condition, if the user scores marks above 90, 90 and above, 91, 92 and above, this is what is going to be printed. So I want to check, I want to get the user between 70, from 80 to 90. What should I use? I'll use an else if statement, but I'll use our logical operator, meaning here I will say and. This is the first check. If the user is greater or equal to 80 and is also the score is less or equal to 90, what should be done? System dot print in a new line. You have your grade is B. You have also passed. So let me explain this in a minute. Let's give some space here. So what is happening here? I'm saying if score is greater than 90, you give the user a a a grade. So in our else if statement, I'm checking between 80 and 90. So if a user gets 81, 82 to 90, this is the check that is going to run. Yeah, for the logical operators, if it finds this side is true, and also this side is true, meaning the statement here, the condition will also be true. But automatically when it finds this side is false and this side is true, meaning it won't execute this line. But I want to get the user in a range of 80 to 90. So this is, I'll use the logical operator to check is the user max between 80 to 90. Yeah, you give him a grade. So I'll do the same in the next grades. I'll do the same. Else if the user's score is greater or equal to, now I'm going to 70, and is in between, score is lesser or equal to 80, print out. Can now copy this here down. This is grade C. Can say fair. So the same thing is happening here. I'm trying to do multiple conditions, and I'm using the else if to help me do the multiple conditions that I want. So here I have used score is between 70 and is less than 80. You print out the grade C. So I use another condition. Else if the grade is between score is greater or equal to 60 and score is less or equal to 70, you give this a grade D. Yeah. Else, another one. Else, so I can do multiple checks here. If the user marks are between 50, score is between 50 is greater or equal to 50 and is in between, score is in between the 60 mark, you do this. Now this is grade E. So lastly, if the user doesn't get a range between 50 and 60, this is total failure. Yeah, you have failed. You have grade F and you have failed. So using these conditions, I'm able to grade my user. Yeah, you can see that I'm able to. Don't mind about this X. These are the extensions that VS Code gives. So using this block of code, I can grade my user. After getting, I can repeat this in a minute before we run. After getting what the user has inserted, I will use the user input to grade the user. If the score here, what the user has inserted, is greater than 90, you print out this. I can change this to past also. I can change this to past. So if the score is greater or equal to 90, meaning if the user has 90, 92, 98, you print out this line of code. Else if the user score is between 80 and 90, print out grade B. The same thing if the score from the user is between 70 and 80, print out grade C, like that. And if the user that does not meet our condition of 80, of 50 to 60, meaning this user has just failed, print out this line of code. So let us run this and we see if it is working. Run. Please enter your marks between 1 to 100. So I'll begin with, let me enter like 95. Press enter. Oh, your grade is A, meaning 95 is between our range that we want. This is the one being printed out. So let me enter a number like 88 and we see 88. Your grade is B because it is checking this number is not greater than 90. So it will check on the next line. Is the number that the user has entered between 80, this 80 and 90? If this is true, run this. So you can see that my grade is B. This one is the one being executed. So you can see that our program is doing well. So let me insert like 66 and you see 66, enter. Oh, this is grade B. So you can see here between 60 and 70, you see that this line of code is the one running. If the user has has his score between 60 and 70, this is the line that will run. So let me enter like 5 and I see what is going to run. Oh, sorry. I have to run this again. So let me enter like 5 and I see. Oh, you have failed. You have grade F, meaning failure. Meaning this condition has checked all these conditions, 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 and 5 is not among the conditions that we are checking, meaning our else will run. Meaning if the user is not above like 50, this else part will run. So that's our simple grading system that we have done today using an else if statement. Thank you guys.